In this tutorial, we're going to show you how our system supports multi-users. With multi-users, you have the ability to have two or more people work at the same time on the Signage Studio. So you have the capability of having different users work on the same campaign, same timeline, same resource, or even same scene. And the system is smart enough to prompt you whenever you save your changes to let you know of any conflicts so you can make the proper decision and decide if you want to keep your own data or the other user's data. So right now I have these two studios that are launched and I'm logged in as a different user in each studio. So let's go ahead and pick this studio first and let's make a change to the screen division. Click on File, Save, and we just went ahead and saved the changes to the server. Now let's go ahead and switch to the other studio, simulating a different user. And now on this studio, let's go ahead and click on File, Synchronize, and you see that now we received the latest changes that the other user made. So this becomes really handy if you know that other users are working on the system and you would like to see their changes. So you just click on File, Synchronize, and you receive these changes that they just made as soon as they save them to the server. But what happens if you work on the system and they work on the system at the same time and you're not really aware of that? You're not sure that they're making a change. So let's go ahead and try that. We'll go ahead and make a change to the screen division right here for this particular user, and then we'll switch to the other user and make a change to the same screen division. So I'll first go ahead and click and save my changes right here. And notice that the system is not complaining about a conflict yet. The reason why it's not complaining is because the other user did not save the changes yet. So as far as the server is concerned, there's still no conflict. Now let's go ahead and switch to this user now. So now we're going to go ahead and save our changes. Click on File, Save. And notice that now the system is telling us that there is a conflict. We need to resolve the conflict. And the options I have are either to take all of their changes or all of your changes, which would be my changes. So I'm going to go ahead and take their changes, discarding my changes. So click right here and go ahead and save my settings. And you see that as soon as I do that, I get the full screen division right here, and that's equal to their configuration right here. So now let's try it the other way around. Let's go ahead and make a change to my screen division. Click on File, Save, and notice there's no conflict because they didn't make any change yet. And I'll go ahead and switch to the other studio, and I'll go ahead and make a change here as well. I'll click on File, Save, and this time instead of taking their changes, I'm going to take all your changes, or rather take my changes, and click on that. Click on Save, and you see that it kept the screen division the way I modified it. And now let's go ahead and switch to the other studio, and now we'll go ahead and click on File, Save. And again, there's a conflict again because both users were working on the same viewer. And now this time I'm going to take all of their changes. And you see that again the screen division updated the way it should be, just as this studio right here is set up. Now the beauty of the synchronization is that it allows you to work on any part of the studio. So let's go ahead and demo this now. Let's go ahead and switch to campaign, and we'll modify channel 0, adding another resource right here. And we'll save our changes. Now again, remember that we modified channel 0 right here on my hotel lobby campaign. Now let's go ahead and switch to the other studio. Click on File, Synchronize, and you see that I just received the latest changes on channel 0. So as you can see, this applies to any area of the application. So far we demonstrated either taking their changes or your changes. However, the system can provide you with more details so you can make a more intelligent choice onto which changes you would like to take. So let's go ahead and demo this. So I'm going to go ahead and make a change to channel 0 and also make a change to channel 1. And then I'll go ahead and save my changes. And there's still no conflict because the other user has not made any changes yet. Now let's switch to the other user. And here we'll make a change just to channel 0, but we're not going to actually touch channel 1. So we're just affecting a single channel. And click on File, Save. And now again, of course, there's a conflict. And this time, instead of picking all of theirs or all of yours, we'll go ahead and select this Resolve button right here. So when we click on the Resolve button, you can actually see all the fields that were modified. And this can assist you in making a better decision onto taking their changes or your changes so you don't make any mistakes. And everything is color coded, so the blue items are actual items that were modified but that no conflict exists. Remember that we modified the channel only on one side of the studio but not the other, so these are blue since again there's no conflict. The item in white are items that were not modified at all, so these were not changed on either side, and the ones that are marked in red are items that a conflict exists, and then you have to make a decision onto which changes you would like to take. So I'm going to go ahead and take their changes, and I'll click on that. And as soon as I do, you will see that the new changes are reflected on my timeline. So as you can see, the multi-user support is very flexible and allows you great control when you have multiple users working on the same time. Now, if you wanted to actually test it out, you can just launch the Reseller Studio, and from the Reseller Studio you can create as many users as you want, unlimited number of users, and then simply click on this launch icon to launch a studio as one of these users that you've added, and then test out the multi-user system.